Welcome. Take a moment to settle in. This is not just information, it's a journey inward. Today, we're exploring something deeply personal, something powerful, and something most of us spend our entire lives avoiding. It's called the shadow. The shadow is not evil. It's not dangerous. It's not something to fear. The shadow is simply the part of you that you've been taught to hide. It's the anger you weren't allowed to express, the jealousy you pretended not to feel, the sadness you were told to get over, the power you were shamed for wanting, even the joy you were told was too much. The shadow is everything you pushed aside to be accepted, to be loved, to be safe. But just because we hide something doesn't mean it disappears. As children, we are born whole, but very quickly, we learn what parts of us are good and what parts are bad. Maybe you were told not to cry, or to stop being dramatic, or that anger makes you ungrateful. Maybe you were only praised when you smiled, stayed quiet, or did as you were told. So you began to split yourself. You showed the world the version that got approval, and buried the rest in your unconscious mind. That buried part became your shadow. But here's the thing. What we suppress controls us. That unspoken rage, it leaks out in sudden explosions. That hidden shame, it attracts people who treat us poorly. That unhealed wound, it shapes our choices, our patterns, our relationships. You may think you're making decisions from clarity, but if you haven't met your shadow, it's driving the wheel. Unconscious patterns repeat until you bring them to light. That's why shadow work isn't just important. It's essential. Shadow work is the practice of turning inward, of meeting the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. It's not about fixing yourself. It's not about forcing light. It's about embracing your full humanity. It's about understanding your triggers, your emotions, your story with compassion. It's journaling with honesty. It's facing childhood pain with courage. It's exploring your projections, your fears, your shame, and choosing to hold them with love. Shadow work is messy, but it's also healing, because when you stop hiding from yourself, you stop hiding from life. When you do shadow work, your life begins to shift. Not because you force it, but because you free the energy that was trapped in suppression. You reclaim the voice you silenced. You stop attracting lessons through pain. You stop reacting and start responding from your truth. You don't just become lighter, you become whole. You step into authentic power, because you're no longer pretending. You create from truth, not trauma. You weren't meant to be perfect. You were meant to be real. And realness includes light and shadow. It includes joy and pain, power and vulnerability. The work you do in the dark is what makes the light real. So let this be your invitation, not to become better, but to become whole. Because the journey home begins where honesty begins. Thank you for listening. Your shadow isn't your enemy, it's your ally in disguise. And now that you've met it, the healing has already begun. Now that you understand the shadow and how it shapes your life, let's talk about your free 30 to 60-minute shadow work session. This session isn't about fixing you. It's about holding space for what's ready to be seen. You'll be guided gently through questions, reflection, and intuitive support to explore what's been surfacing in your emotions, your life, or your inner world. We might identify a recurring trigger, belief, or unhealed pattern. You may feel release. You may feel clarity, or you may just feel seen, for the first time in a long time. And that is a powerful beginning. If something shifts in you, if a door opens, if you feel that this work is something your soul has been waiting for, then know this: you're invited to go deeper. I offer a paid shadow work journey for those ready to commit to real transformation. This is where we move beyond insight into deep integration, with tools, mentorship, and ongoing support tailored to your unique path. You're not required to continue, but if your spirit says yes, you'll know. And if you've felt called to guide others through healing, if your heart is saying, "This isn't just for me, I want to help others too," then consider joining our program to become a certified shadow work coach. You'll learn how to hold safe, transformative space. You'll be trained in the frameworks, language, and intuitive tools of deep shadow work. And most importantly, you'll learn to walk others through what you've walked through yourself, because the world needs more people who face their darkness and learn to shine with humility, courage, and truth. Whether you stay for one session or walk the path to mastery, I honor your presence here. Your healing matters, and your shadow is not a weakness. It's the beginning of your power.